This is the Wrestling Old Head. You have entered the portal of pro wrestling.
What the world is watching.
The Masked Man that showed up and gave Team Vision the victory at WWE Survivor Series Men's War Games match is revealed, and it has been confirmed to be Rick Rude. What's up, you guys? It's the Wrestling Old Head, and you have entered the portal of pro wrestling. Hey, if this is your first time checking out this video, I want to thank you guys for stopping in and checking it out. And if you are new around here, stay true around here. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, notifications bell, so you're always aware when I drop out of the portal of pro wrestling to hit you with the hotness. Now, let's get into the topic at hand, the Masked Man. Who is the Masked Man? It seems like with Paul Levesque, he is stretching this out just a little bit. He wants to kind of lead you guys on a who did it type of a mystery where you get the big reveal at the end. And I love that. I've always been a fan of whodunits. In fact, I think to coincide with the Netflix deal that the WWE has, that they potentially should get Benoit Blanc, who is, James Bond, Daniel Craig, to come out and try and solve this mystery. I think that would be some great crossover potential there. But in all seriousness, at the beginning of the video, you saw that I said Rick Rude. Now, it's just to establish the idea of the last time there was a mysterious masked man that showed up and everybody wondered who it was. I remember from ECW's Barely Legal promotion for the pay-per-view from ECW, where Rick Rude showed up in a mask, and the moment that he uttered the words, "It's a new year, Shane Douglas," everybody knew who that was. And the crowd went bananas. The smart ECW arena crowd blew the roof off the place because they knew under that mask it was Rick Rude. Just very similar parallels here without the promo with the microphone. The Masked Man showed up at War Games. He jumped into the cage with the greatest of ease, jumped down into the ring, hit the Seth Rollins stomp, and also one of the super kick. So I think he started off. Yeah, if memory serves me correct, he jumps into the cage, hits the super kick on CM Punk, followed by the curb stomp. And everybody, they just immediately knew that it was Austin Theory. We all knew it, right? The internet had talked about it for a while. I believe Dave Meltzer spoke about it. Sean Rossap spoke about it, who has me blocked on X, so I don't know if he reported this earlier, but I think I found out through the channels and was able to establish that I think he reported on it as well. We all knew it was Austin Theory, right? But is it Austin Theory? Are we being Black Scorpioned? Is it that there was this young man that jumped into the cage and hit the super kick and the curb stomp and made us believe that it was going to be Austin Theory? You had Austin Theory backstage. Everybody's thinking that it's Austin Theory, and it's actually not. What if when that hood comes off, it's someone else? So we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna break that down like a shotgun, because I have some theories myself, and most of these are theories, pun intended, because you do know that more than likely what we're going to see when that hood comes off, that it's going to be Austin Theory. And we'll also talk about when that hood may potentially come off and we may see who that Masked Man is. First of all, I appreciate the fact that the WWE is at least attempting to do the hooks, to hook you in week to week. That's something that can captivate an audience. That brings in the audience. That was something that I was talking about during the Survivor Series build, which was that professional wrestling in general has a strong lack of a hook, something that keeps you tuning in week to week to see what happens. You know, Nitro. I remember Nitro. We do it all the time. Tune in to Monday Nitro, because you're going to see Sting. You're going to hear from Sting tonight. The NWO says they have a new member by the end of the show. It got the fans invested. You were emotionally invested to see what was going to happen. Tonight, Roddy Piper shows up. He's got a live mic. We have no idea what he's going to say. You might want to stay tuned for that. That, to me, is what professional wrestling was all about in its prime time Monday Night War era. I think that is one of the reasons, of many reasons, why you got so many people to tune in. It was because of the excitement of what was going to happen in the second hour, at the top of the second hour, what was going to happen in the main event, right? So for this masked man, outside of Austin Theory, who everybody has dead to rights, it's Austin Theory. And I appreciate the fact that they're actually going to try to do something with Austin Theory here. I think that is overall something healthy. The guy isn't even 30 yet, I don't think, or maybe is about to turn 30. He's still young. He's got the world ahead of him. He's super talented individual. And if he is in the right environment, he can really be one of the next big things in professional wrestling. So I think with this program, and especially pairing him with Paul Heyman, and then even having him work alongside Logan Paul as well, can do him a ton of favors, because Logan Paul gets it. Say what you will about him, but he gets it, and he knows how to be a douchebag, and so that can rub off on Austin Theory in a number of ways, to where at the end of this whole group, this whole faction, Austin Theory will come out better because he's around those guys. So outside of Austin Theory, let's talk about the usual suspects here. You've got LA Knight. Yeah. LA Knight has had a string of unfortunate events that have led to him getting to the top of the mountain, but then tumbling down and ending up right back where he started. You know, He's had championship opportunity after championship opportunity, and he has not been able to seal the deal. He got a great win this past Monday with the crucifix pin on Jey Uso. Now, because he got the win, it makes me wonder if he used that confidence he got as the masked man to get in the head of Jey Uso, because the masked man showed up in War Games. LA Knight was nowhere to be found, right? So he got in his head, and he got that win. Now, LA Knight does not have to be John Cena's final opponent. He has the mind game card. And what the mind game card is, nobody knows it's him. So he can show up at any time and exercise his ability to get into the head of someone like CM Punk, who he has history with, somebody like Jey Uso, who he has history with, somebody like Roman Reigns, who he has history with. There's a lot that can come from that. Aside from the fact that LA Knight has reason to be a suspect because of his relationships, strained relationships with Cody and Punk and the Usos and Roman Reigns, on top of the fact that he had been going after the Vision and just coming up short. So it's like, if you can't beat him, join him type of thing. He also is better as a heel. Eli Drake. Yeah, Eli Drake. Shoes of a champion in NWA, the dummy button in TNA. Dummy, yeah. That was peak Eli Drake, in my opinion. And if you bring that Eli Drake, which they completely neutered that version of Eli Drake when he came back to the WWE, and he had to call himself LA Knight, which he got over. And then they had him go become a Dupree, Max Dupree. He almost got that over, in fact. So, you know, Sean Ricker, a.k.a. Eli Drake, a.k.a. LA Knight, he can get stuff over, but he is at his best when he is a heel. When he is around a monster group behind him. I think he had in TNA, he was a part of a stable that even had Tongaloa. Okay? So there is history there that they can thread together really nicely. With the relationship that TNA has with the WWE, they can use the footage that they have from TNA to incorporate this into the newest attitude of LA Knight. He can say, you guys chant LA Knight all the time. My name is not LA Knight. It is Eli Drake. The crowd would go crazy, but then Eli Drake, Sean Ricker, can use that tool to get the crowd to go against him, because he's great on the microphone, and he can get the crowd to hate him. He can also get the crowd to love him. But I believe LA Knight right now is just trying too hard to be that, archetypal rebel thug with The Rock's like charisma. Like it's a weird thing he's got going on. He dresses nice, but he's like a DTA, don't trust anybody. Like if he goes to just being Eli Drake, I think it could work. And if you pair him with Paul Heyman, Logan Paul, and Braun and Bronson, I think it could work. So I wouldn't count LA Knight out of this. The only thing that I would wonder is how he was able to climb that cage that fast. And the other suspect in this case that we're going to attempt to crack, Randy Orton. Randy Orton, some would say, including myself, that he might be the one that's responsible for putting Jacob Fatu out on the shelf. Remember, last we seen of Jacob Fatu, he was supposed to be wrestling. They found him in the back spitting out teeth. Now, what move in the WWE can cause you to spit out teeth if done outside of the confines of the ring with malice? The punt kick. So Randy Orton could have punt kicked Jacob Fatu, knocked his front teeth out, sent him out packing, and he has been eyeing Cody Rhodes' World Championship for years now. And the voices are going to start to permeate and start to talk to him. And then he's going to feel like maybe he needs to join Paul Heyman. I mean, Randy Orton in the Vision, that's a veteran presence in that piece where he's surrounded by young talent, very similar to the way that Ric Flair or even Triple H surrounded themselves with young talent. Ric Flair was the Paul Heyman. Triple H would be the Braun Breaker or the Seth Rollins of the group. In the parallel between Evolution and the Vision, it can work. If they brought in Randy Orton as the legend, very similar to how they brought in that veteran presence in the Evolution, I really like that idea. I don't think he can get up on that cage that fast, which is another reason why they can do the Black Scorpion rule, which they brought out several Black Scorpions until they were able to reveal that he was the Black Scorpion. Give it a goog. It happened in WCW, and the protagonist was Sting. So go ahead and check that out. It was an Ole Anderson favorite. It ended really bad, but I liked the idea originally. A guy with a voice changer going, Sting, I'm gonna get you. Like, they could have done that as a way to throw us off the scent by having some young, broad-shouldered young guy jump over the cage, hit Seth Rollins' moves, and then peace out. And then when they actually reveal it's somebody like a LA Knight or a Randy Orton. These things are possible, you guys. It is very possible. And now let's go to the final suspect that is so far-fetched, but it is the one that I would enjoy the most, Montez Ford. Montez Ford had been teasing breaking up with Angelo Dawkins for a long time. And finally, this is the opportunity that he can to step away from his tag team by selling his soul to the wise man and seeing the Vision and joining the Vision. The guy has ultra charisma. He's great in the ring. Imagine him teaming up with Logan Paul in tag team matches against some of the main event talent on Raw. It'd be amazing. If you can still bring Austin Theory into this group. So then you would have Logan Paul, Austin Theory, Montez Ford, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, all under the guise of Paul Heyman. I think that's a super stable. And you don't even have to keep Logan Paul in. I mean, at that point, you can let Logan Paul just kind of like linger around the group and be around when he's available. You can really keep it to the core four of Montez Ford, Austin Theory, Bronson Reed, and Braun Breaker, and you've got the future of professional wrestling. Now, the thing that I would say because of Montez Ford is no young cat. He's been in the business a long time, and he deserves that moment. If you go with Austin Theory, it's granted it would work. And I think Austin Theory could pull it off in the long run, although he had quite the hill to climb after the way that he had been treated the last 3 years in the WWE as basically an afterthought. He was a main event guy with Grayson Waller, and I don't mean being in the top of the card. I mean on the syndicated program. So it's going to take a lot for us to think of him in a formidable role. But with Montez Ford, fans all over the world, all over the internet have been yearning, have been begging for the WWE to finally give him his flowers, for finally him to give that moment. And when it never came, he decides to go to Paul Heyman and get it himself. I think it tells a wonderful story. I think Montez Ford has the chops to pull it off. He definitely has the in-ring ability, and he can only get better being around talent like that. It would be similar to The Rock. I think Ford could do it. Do I think it's going to happen? No. It's Austin Theory, guys. It's Austin Theory. But I think if you had to choose between those 4 guys that were given to us, I think Randy Orton can turn on Cody some other time. He doesn't need to be in a stable. LA Knight can become Eli Drake. He doesn't necessarily need a stable. Austin Theory is still young. You still have a chance to continue his build and get him to a point to where he then joins up with the Vision. But Montez Ford, I think you should pull the trigger on him immediately. I think he is ready. And I think it would be a perfect fit. But what do you guys think? Is it really Austin Theory? Do you think Austin Theory is the man behind the mask? And if so, when do you think, oh, by the way, before I end the video, when do you think he's going to reveal his hood? Well, I think he's going to take the hood off around Saturday night's main event. Duh, right? But do I think Braun Breaker is going to beat CM Punk at Saturday night's main event? I don't. I think what more than likely would happen is CM Punk beats Braun Breaker at some point, and the Masked Man comes out, attacks CM Punk, and or maybe attacks him during the match, and they call for a DQ. I don't think it's Braun Breaker's time to win the championship. I do think he wins the championship, but I think it's more along the lines of closer to WrestleMania, if not at WrestleMania, that he actually wins. And I think if Seth Rollins is ready to come back, I think that's one of your main events is Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. Although I am not a fan of the idea of Roman Reigns against Cody again. I understand why they would go that route. I get it. I don't think that should be the main event in Vegas. I think what you should do is either put CM Punk against Roman Reigns, which tells an amazing story. It goes back years, 13 even. But more importantly, when Roman Reigns was at the top of the card and he was talking, cutting promos on Cody Rhodes, and he was talking about all the guys he would say to come face him for the championship, he never mentioned CM Punk. And when CM Punk recently won the Undisputed Championship and he talked about all the guys that could come challenge him and all the guys he would like to fight, he never mentioned Roman Reigns. He even mentioned JD McDonough before he mentioned Roman Reigns. Never got to Roman Reigns. Both guys come from the Paul Heyman lineage. So I think it would work. But what do you guys think? Now we're going back to that. What do you guys think? What do you think? What do you want to talk about? Well, I want to talk about what you guys think. Do you think that it is Austin Theory? If so, when's he going to unveil himself? If it's not Austin Theory, who do you think it is? Do you think it's one of the 3 suspects that I've mentioned? You guys let me know in the comments. It's your turn to do the Benoit Blanc and go, and not Benoit Era 404 Benoit. Benoit Blanc from Knives Out, which is an amazing series. But I'm curious what you guys think. Go ahead and drop it down in the comment section below. And remember, we got a lot of videos coming up really soon. Thank you guys for being a part of this. I appreciate you. Thank you guys for watching. And as always, stay tuned for more. I'll see you in the next one.